Hey, good day, everybody. Catch the Torah wave. Welcome to our weekly Genesis class live from Jerusalem with Rabbi Chaim Goldberg of the Noahide World Center, one of our most successful shows of the week, and we so enjoy Rabbi Goldberg sharing us the Torah the way it was intended. And so let's just jump right in and see how the rabbi's doing today. And so Rabbi, you are live on the air. We're going to turn it over to you. And so good to be with you. And I'm just switching to full screen. Yeah, you're live, Rabbi.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening from Jerusalem. Hope everybody is fine. Good to see you all. Timothy, long time no see. And I see that you have also your father? It's your father?
His friend Don.
Don.
Another
Okay.
Noahide, yeah.
Good to see you, Don. Oh, great. Wendell, everybody else from all over the world. Good to see you all. But, there's a saying in the Hebrew, third time you need to buy me an ice cream. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It's the third time today. We in Israel, we are feeling it's great. I'm feeling good with this. It's okay. We in Israel, we're feeling good. Everything is fine. Hope everything is fine all over the world. Chris, we see you a bit in a blur. It's a bit, you're a bit far from us, Chris. Yeah, but it's okay. You don't need to just clean up a bit the camera so you will see us in a much better way. Good to see you, everybody. We came to a very interesting stage in the Bible, because we're concentrating now. We are inside Jacob, and Jacob is already where we're going to flip. We'll say it like that, from a time that there was only one person who was close to God. In the beginning, it was Abraham, then it was Isaac, then now it's Jacob. But by the way, they're not the only one. Before them also, there were a few people. You know what? It's very important maybe to see this for a moment. Let's share the screen. Laura, good to see you, sir, as well. Let's share the screen for a moment. Let's jump again to Genesis. Can you see my screen? Yes, everybody can see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. It's very important to note, okay, if we're going to Abraham, for example, and we have with Abraham, there was a very big war, the first world war that is mentioned in the Bible. It's in chapter 14, okay? We have 4 kings against 5 kings, and everybody's looking for Abraham to kill him. At the end, Abraham is managing against everybody. And we have at please read for a moment how Abraham is managing to win this war.
And he restored all the possessions, and also Lot his brother and his possessions he restored, and also the women and the people.
So he won the war, and he's coming back towards his place. It's not far from Jerusalem, and he's meeting someone very important. Please read verse number 18.
18, and Melchizedek, the king of Salem, brought out bread and wine, and he was a priest to the Most High God.
He was a priest to the God of Israel. There wasn't any Israel yet. There was only the Hebrew. He was a priest for the God of the Hebrew. Our sages are saying that Melchizedek was Shem, the son of Noah, the most highest. There are people who are righteous before Abraham. Abraham is not coming from out of the blue. Abraham is coming after there is something that is happening in this world. The world is progressing to a better stage. Only then Abraham is coming. And you can see in verse number 19, where he is blessing him. Please read for a moment. About
19. And he blessed him, and he said, "Blessed be Abram to the Most High God, who possesses heaven and earth."
speaking about someone who understands what he is saying. And we all know that before that we also had Noah. And let me show another one, not only Noah, another very interesting person that we had before that. It's important to realize that there were righteous people before Abraham. Abraham is coming only after there is some sort of a progress that the world is managing to go up from being very wild behavior to a bit more gentle, a bit more, that only then the Torah can come. The Torah can't come to something that is so still very wild. So let's see another person, not chapter 1, chapter 5. We all know about Noah, okay? But before we speak about Noah, there's another one before him. Please read this verse number 24.
24. And Enoch walked with God, and he was no longer, for God had taken him.
Why God took him? Because he was righteous. Okay, he was living a very small amount of years if you compare it to the others. All the others were living between 900, 960, 890, something like that. And he's the only one who was living only for 300. You see, you can read verse number 23.
And all the days of Enoch were 365.
Very short time. And he was taken because he was very righteous. So God took him to him. Okay. So we have Adam. Adam also was, with all the respect, Adam was very giant. We had Seth, the son of Adam. Then we had also Enoch, okay, Noah, Chanoch, sorry. Chanoch. In Hebrew, the word Chanoch is teaching others, okay? He was a priest. He was teaching others. And then we have Noah himself, also, that God is saying about him that he loves him because he is a righteous. And then we have Melchizedek, the son of Noah. Only then, after all those years, almost 2,000 years, okay, that Abraham can come. But Abraham still is one person. And then we have Isaac. It's only one person. We came to a stage that we're starting to speak about Jacob, who is going to build up a nation. The presence of God is not only on one priest, one person, very unique person, maybe 5 people, but all over the places of the world. No, now God is going to give his presence on a tribe, on a nation. It will become a full nation only in Exodus. The first chapter of Exodus, who is defining us as a nation? Do you remember that? Everybody remember that? We're going to read this next week. Okay, let's open Exodus 1. Go. Boom. We have here. Please read verse number 7.
7. The children of Israel were fruitful and swarmed and increased and became very, very strong, and the land became filled with them.
Okay, so we have now a full, bigger, I will call it nation. And look here. And I'm going to show you the Hebrew because the English version is not so good here. Okay, please.
He said to his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more numerous and stronger than we are.
Fine. So he's afraid. But in the Hebrew version, and I want to remind us all that the Bible was given in a Hebrew version, not in other versions, okay? Even though we have more than 2,000 translations to the Bible. It says here like that, Hine Am Bnei Israel. What is Am? A nation. They are a nation. So the first one who is defining us as a nation was Pharaoh. And we're speaking about 2,400 years after Adam and Eve were defined here in this world. So we have a long time until we're coming to a situation where there is a nation, a full nation. But it starts with Jacob, because Jacob, all of his kids were part of the Hebrew nation. It's not like with Abraham that Ishmael is not part of the Hebrew nation, only Isaac. It's not like with Isaac that only Jacob is part of the Hebrew nation, not Esau. Now we came to a stage where Jacob is going to build up the Hebrew nation. And we saw the conversation that Jacob had with I'm jumping back to where we are, in Genesis chapter 20, 29. We saw already the conversation that Jacob had with the other shepherd, and he came to them and he said to them, we are all brothers. It's a bit what do I say? It's a bit ironic. This I think the best word. He is running from whom? He is running from his brother, right? And he is approaching shepherds from a very different far country. And what is he saying to them? My brothers, where are you from? And we said that it's not a question of geological place, he's asking, what is this place? Where are you from? Is the wordings, we all came from the infinite, from God, who is from the nowhere. In the Hebrew, this is how it's written down, Me'ayin. We all came from God, and this is why we are all brothers. And it's a bit ironic that he's running from his brother who wants to kill him, and he's approaching others, and he's saying to them, you are also my brothers. And they are a bit against it. They're saying, no. We came from the anger of God. He created us. If we will compare this, we can see that this is the difference between how the Hebrew nation approaches, I will say, the beginning of the world, and in all of the other stories of the old Greeks, with all of them, how do you call it? All of the stories of the aliens in those days, okay? How exactly man was created? How exactly is the connection between men and the aliens? With the Greeks, we can find that a lot of things they're speaking about a fight between God or the aliens and the human. It's all the time some sort of a competition. In the Hebrew nation, we're speaking about that God wants to help, to assist the people. And this is where he understands that there is a slip or differentiation between Jacob and the others. And he's asking them, do you know Laban, the son of Nahor, that have this family with a vision that we will all be united together? This is the main vision of the Hebrew people. We saw that also. The main vision of the Hebrew people is that we are all going to be united together. And they're saying, they're answering that he do. There is a peace there with him. They know him, and he sees Rachel, and he's saying to them, okay, the day is very, there's a lot of time for this day. Please read verse number 7 and 8.
7, and he said, the day is yet long, it is not the time to take in the livestock, water the sheep, and go to pasture. And they said, we cannot do that until the flocks are gathered together, and they will roll the rock off the mouth of the well, and we shall then water the sheep.
Basically, Jacob is saying to them, look, you giving water to the world. You shepherds, you are the shepherds of the world. You're giving water, you're giving life. Water is life. We can't live without water, okay? Even if a person will decide to do, not to eat. So if he won't eat anything, after 7 days he will die. God forbid it, okay? But if he will drink, he won't eat, but he will drink all the time, so he can survive even 40 and 50 days before he will die. Again, God forbid, not for that. But I'm saying, the water here is that you're giving life to the world. You are the shepherds. So, and they're saying to him, but we can't trust each other. Only when we will be together, we will be able to do that. If one is not allowed to do that, if the other one is not there also, because we don't really trust each other. And this is where when he is seeing, now we need to read verses number 9, 10, and 11 to start to realize what's happening here. Please, 9, 10, and 11.
9, while he was still talking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. 10, and it came to pass when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob drew near and rolled the rock off the mouth of the well, and he watered the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and he raised his voice and wept.
So we have here, I will say, a weird, I will call it a situation. Okay, this is how can I try to describe it? First of all, why Rachel is the shepherd? Why is she is the shepherd of her father? If I remember correctly, usually you're sending the boys, not the girls, right? How come Rachel is going out? Point number one. Point number two is that what is happening exactly to Jacob when he is doing this? So he suddenly have all the strength to move the stone and to give everybody the water, okay? And the third thing is, what exactly is this kissing? Now, don't tell me that it's the Bible is trying to describe some sort of a romantic situation, because the Bible is not a journalist, a law journalist that is trying to show all sorts of things. The Bible is teaching us ideas how to live in this world. So we need to realize what's happening here in those three verses. I will start with the first, second, and third, and we'll try to explain everything that's happening here. First of all, technically, I will call it like that. Let's see Rashi for a moment, so it will be more clear. Technically, in verse number 9, when we're saying that Rachel is coming, he's not writing it. Rashi here, just a moment, let me remember where exactly he's writing it. Our sages are saying that I'm sorry, it's not, I don't know why he's not bringing it in Rashi here, but never mind now. Our sages are saying that he didn't had yet any boys. He had only girls. How many girls did he have? He had two. He had Rachel and he had Leah. Okay, those two wives of Jacob. But there is something else here that I need to explain that later on. Okay, I'm not going to explain this now. So we need to remember that there is a question with Rachel. Fair enough. When he sees her, he understands that she is going to be part of the Hebrew nation, and together, both of them are going to be the shepherds for the world. And this is what he's doing. He is moving the stone, okay, from the well to give all the folks, all the sheep of Laban, or the sheep, okay? It's not only for the Laban, because also the others are going to get it. It's going to give them water. It's going to give them life, okay? And then he cried. He kissed Rachel and cried. So let's see for a moment what exactly Rashi is saying, but in a moment we're going also to try to put it in a bit more profound understanding. So please, if it's okay, Dan, please read this Rashi, okay?
And he wept. He foresaw with the Holy Spirit that she, Rachel, would not enter the grave with him. Another explanation, since he came empty-handed, he said, Eliezer, my grandfather's servant, had nose rings and bracelets and sweet fruits in his possession, and I am coming with nothing in my hands. He had nothing because Eliphaz, the son of Esau, had pursued him to kill him at his father's orders. He, Eliphaz, overtook him, but since he had grown up in Isaac's lap, he held back his hand. He said to him, Jacob, what shall I do about my father's orders? Jacob replied, take what I have, for a poor man is counted as dead.
Well, Rashi is giving her here two explanations why he wept, why he cried. Okay, why he cried. In Hebrew it says, Vayevk, he cried, he wept, he had tears and everything else. So the first one is that he saw that Rachel, who belonged to him, who is his wife, she won't get buried with him. It's not like with Leah. Okay, Leah was buried with Jacob. But Rachel wasn't buried with Jacob. She was buried after Benjamin she gave birth to Benjamin and she died, and this is where they buried her. So he cried for them not being together also in the grave. A bit weird, okay? The second thing is that he cried because he came with empty hands. If we will compare this for a moment to what happened to Eliezer, okay, the servant of Abraham, when he came to Laban, I will show you for a moment so you see how much it's the difference is very clear. When he came to Abraham, sorry, I'm in Genesis chapter 24, okay? When he came to Abraham, please read for a moment. Verse number 22.
22. Now it came about when the camels had finished drinking that the man took a golden nose ring weighing half a shekel and 2 bracelets for her hands weighing 10 gold shekels.
He's giving money. He's giving something. It's not like Jacob, who is coming very poor, without anything. More than that, I will show you for a moment. Read verse 28, 29, and 20 and 30. It's very important, the 31, but it's the preparation.
28. And the maiden ran, and she told her mother's house what had happened. Now Rebekah had a brother whose name was Laban, and Laban ran to the man outside to the fountain. 30. And it came to pass, when he saw the nose ring and the bracelets on his sister's hands, and when he heard the words of his sister Rebekah, saying, So did the man speak to me, that he came to the man, and behold, he was standing over the camels at the fountain.
Why Laban, the father of Rachel and Leah, yes? Why Laban went out? What is written down here? Very greedy. Okay, this is why he went out. He saw the nose ring, he saw the bracelets, he saw those things, right? Bracelets. He saw them. And he said to himself, I also want something. Now, think about this for a moment. We're moving on one generation. Laban have 2 daughters. Rebecca, his sister, have 2 boys. And we saw already, and I'm going to show this again, that everybody spoke that those 2 twins with those 2 girls, okay, going to be together. And one of the twins' boys is coming to have his wife, but he doesn't have any money. He doesn't have anything. So Rashi is explaining to us that this is why he cried. He cried because of the difference. While if you compare this to what happened with Eliezer, okay, he's the master of his grandfather, and what is happening with him, what's happening with him, he's a bit disappointed that this is the situation. Okay, Rashi here is very colorful. This is the way I can share this for a moment. We're going to show this for a moment. You see? And Laban ran. Please read this.
And Laban ran. Why did he run, and for what did he run? Now it came to pass when he saw the nose ring, he said, This person is rich. And he set his eyes on the money.
Greedy. Okay? He was greedy. Fair enough. So Jacob understands in front who is going to stand. Who is his, the father of Rachel. And he said he was crying. It's not like that. But this is only the first level. As you know, that we're trying here to learn a bit more in a profound way. So I need to show you something very important, and we need to realize what is happening here. Now, we all know the story. The story is that Jacob loves Rachel. I'm going to show this for a moment in a very simple way, and then we're going to go inside a bit to understand it a bit more inside. And this is, by the way, this is why here, when she is running and I'm speaking about Jacob and Rachel, okay? After he's crying. Please read verse number 12 and 13, and then we'll continue.
12. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's kinsman and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. Now it came to pass when Laban heard the report of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran towards him, and he embraced him, and he kissed him, and he brought him into his house. And he told Laban all these happenings.
Okay, let's see for a moment Rashi for that. It's very important also. So we will see that Laban still is very greedy. Okay. We need to ask ourselves, why is it written down that he was hugging him and also kissing him and all of those things? Okay. Please read Rashi here. You don't
That he
need to
ran
read
towards
the
him.
source. Sorry, for a moment. The source of all of them is from the
Genesis Rabbi 70.
So you don't need to read the sources. Just read the
Okay. He ran towards him. He thought that Jacob was laden with money, for the servant of the household of Eliezer had come here with 10 laden camels, and he embraced. When he, Laban, did not see anything with him, with Jacob, he said, perhaps he has brought golden coins, and they are in his bosom. And he kissed him, and he said, perhaps he has brought pearls, and they are in his mouth. He told Laban that he had come only because he was compelled to do so because of his brother Esau, and that they had taken his money from him.
Okay, so we have, first of all, this is, we'll say, the surface. So this is the story, what's happening there. We have Laban that is very greedy. We have, he remembers already also the story with his, with the master, with his sister. We have Jacob, who is coming as a poor person. This is only the first thing, but let's go one moment a bit more in a profound way to see what exactly is happening here. I want to remind us for a moment that we explained already that the idea that Isaac had in his mind is that to build up the Hebrew nation, we need to have two sides. Side number one is all the physical side of the nation, okay, the finance side, the building up the buildings, all the physical side. And there is another thing inside, okay, that we're supposed to put, is all the moral behavior that is related with God. And Isaac thought to himself that he have two sons. Esau is the one with the field who knows how to go outside and to build up the structure. And Jacob, who is sitting down all the day and learning Torah, will be the one that is putting inside the relationship or the connection with God, will bring everything to the holiness. But togetherness, both of them, are going to build up the Hebrew nation. We explained that. I'm reminding us that we have later on Joseph and Judah. Joseph is the one who is giving us the structure of the thing. He will give us food for eating. And Judah is the one that will give us the holiness side, and the King David will come from him. But King David is also inventing, okay, all the Psalms, the spiritual side, while Joseph is the structure, the building up to the food side, okay, giving food for all of the world. Fair enough. But just like Isaac thought that there are two different things, we know from the prophecy with the Rebecca, okay, that it won't work, and only Jacob is going to be those two missions. He's going to carry on those two missions. Now, before we go into Jacob, who's going to have those two missions, we have Laban also have two daughters. One of them is supposed to be the wife of Esau, and the other one is supposed to be the wife of Jacob. It's written down. Okay? Read for a moment verses 16 and 17.
16. Now Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah's eyes were tender, but Rachel had beautiful features and a beautiful complexion.
Let's read it for a moment also with Rashi. Why Leah's eyes were tender? We read it once, but we need to remember that. We need to remind this, okay? Why Leah's eyes were tender, please?
tender because she expected to fall into Esau's lot, and she wept because everyone was saying Rebekah has 2 sons and Laban has 2 daughters. The older daughter for the older son and the younger daughter for the younger son.
Okay, so now we're starting to realize this is what's supposed to happen. In the eyes of Isaac, I have 2 kids. One of them will be building all the physical side. The other one will put inside to this physical side all the spiritual side, the relationship with God. And on the same level, we have the wife for Esau, this will be Leah, and the wife for Jacob will be Rachel. Okay, very clear. But we know the story, and we have twice when Jacob is coming here, okay, we have twice already that Esau gave Jacob to become the eldest one, the most important one, right? Let's see it for a moment here. I'm jumping back. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Let's see, for twice, okay, that we have that Jacob got from Esau things. Sorry, I jumped too much. Sorry, one less. Sorry, here it is. The first time is here. Please read verse number 31.
31. And Jacob said, "Sell me as of this day your birthright."
And he's selling it, right? Remember that? I'm going to die, so why do I need this birthright? And he's selling it, right? He is swearing to him that he's going. So this is the first time. And the second time will be another 2 chapters, okay? Now chapter 25, 27. Let's see, here it is. Chapter 27, where, I lost it. Chapter 27, where Jacob is taking, okay, the blessing from Esau, right? So we have twice already that Jacob is replacing the place of Esau, right? So if he is replacing the place of Esau, who is the wife of Jacob? Very simple question. Again, no, Rebecca is the mother. Okay, I'm asking something else. What do you say about? Leah. If we say that Jacob is replacing the place of Esau, so who is supposed to be his wife? Leah is supposed to be his wife, right? Rachel is supposed to be with Esau, right? Now we're starting to realize why Laban is giving Jacob, first of all, Leah. And we're starting to realize how much he is surprised that Jacob is also asking Rachel. Why are you asking Rachel? Now, this is the question that we need to answer. Why he is also asking Rachel? Why is he crying when he realized that he's not going to be buried with Rachel? Why does he love Rachel more than he loves Leah? What exactly is happening here? And for that, we need to understand that Jacob is realizing. Now I'm going to speak here something in principle. I'm going to close for a moment the scripture. I'm going to say the things by heart, so we will realize that what is really happening here. Jacob is growing up. I will call it like that. He is not only. It's not a game that he's doing with Esau. He is supposed to become something new, something else. He's supposed to do 2 missions. Mission number 1, to build up the structure of the state. Mission number 2, also to put inside the spiritual side with the relationship with God. For the spiritual side, this is Leah. For the structure side, this is Rachel. Laban is really surprised when Jacob is coming to Laban and saying to him all that happened. So he understands that he's supposed to give him Leah. He never thought that he's also supposed to give him Rachel. But Jacob is insisting also to get Rachel, because Jacob really wants to change himself from Jacob to Israel. It's another stage. He's going to take 2 missions on himself. And the kids of Leah will always call him, they are the kids of Leah and Israel. And the kids of Rachel will be the kids of Leah and Jacob. 2 different missions. And Jacob is taking all the missions on his shoulders. And now we're starting to realize how much it's hard for him. He's not only crying when he realizes that he's not going to sleep or to get buried with Rachel. He is changing everything. He lost Rachel, but because he became Esau, okay, or he took underneath himself also the mission of Esau. So he is supposed to be with Leah, and he's crying because he understands what is the loss that he lost. Okay, the relationship with the ultimate Rachel that was supposed to be with him. And now, and Laban at the beginning is giving him Leah because he understands that he is the greatest one. I'm going to show this in the verses in a moment. Be with me. Okay, in the verses it's already hinted. And he's surprised that Jacob is insisting also to take Rachel because he is seriously wants to become the full Israel, the full nation, with all of the missions, with all of the full missions inside there. And Laban is a bit surprised, but this is what Jacob is doing. He is taking full responsibility to the full mission of Israel, because this is basically what happened when Esau decided to withdraw from becoming the birth one, the first one, and he was, despite it, all of those things, and also the blessings came to Jacob, and also the wives came to Jacob, and then he's also will change his name. Let me show the hint inside the also inside the scripture. Inside there is some sort of a hint for that, and the hint is with the words. I don't know how much it's I didn't check the translation, okay, but we have 2 different words. Okay, one is, let me see it here. One is the word 2 daughters. One, the name of we have an elder, okay, and the younger. This is one way, but then and it says in verse number 18, please read verse number 18 and 19.
18, and Jacob loved Rachel, and he said, I will work for you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to you than I should give her to another man. Stay with me.
Another man, he's hinting here, another man. There's another man here in this area that's supposed to get her. But I prefer to give it to you. But at the end, after 7 years, when Laban is gathering all the people of the place and he's doing a lot of a big feast, okay? At the end of the night, who exactly is he giving her? Him? Sorry, please read verse number 23.
23, and it came to pass in the evening that Laban took his daughter Leah, and he brought her to him, and he came to her.
Fine. And in the morning, suddenly, we need to learn this. We will learn this next time. In the morning, Jacob understand that Laban tricked him. We spoke about Rachel, and you're giving me Leah. So he's asking him, okay, please read this part.
What is it that you have done to me? Did I not work with you for Rachel? Why have you deceived me?
Read verse number 26.
And Laban said, it is not done so in our place to give the younger one before the firstborn.
In a moment ago, we didn't say younger and the firstborn. What did we say? Younger and older, right? Here he is hinting him, in our place, we are respecting the firstborn. not like you, Jacob, who didn't respect the firstborn. It's ending here the story that Jacob did, saying to him, listen, now you are the firstborn. You bought this, right? So you need to get Rachel, you need to get Leah before you're getting Rachel. If you're insisting of getting also Rachel, I will give you also Rachel. This is what he's saying here, okay? 27, please read 27 for a moment.
27, complete the wedding week of this one, and we will give you this one too for the work that you will render me for another 7 years.
Fair enough. So I will give you also Rachel. But hey, remember what you did? In our place, we're not doing those switches. If you decided to do that and you already became the firstborn, so you need to take the firstborn first of all. And then you will get also Rachel. I'm a bit surprised. You also want Rachel. Rachel was supposed to go to Esau. Starting to see that Jacob, I will say it like that, he is serious, okay? When he understands that he's supposed to take the place of Esau and to take 2 missions, so he's doing it step by step. At the beginning, he is giving him food, and Esau is swearing in front of him that he is giving him his mission. Then in the blessings, he is also taking the blessings of Esau. And the third time, he will take also the wife of Esau, what we see now. And then, in another step, he will also take the other name. He's also going to be under the name of Israel, not only the Jacob. Now we're starting to understand another important thing, very important thing. I'm going to show here again things that I said 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, and I think that I wasn't clear enough. Now it will be much clearer, okay, clear things that I said 2 and 3 weeks ago. Let's jump for a moment to chapter, I think maybe I'm wrong a moment. When they are meeting together. No. Sorry. I want to go earlier than that. They're meeting together and Jacob is before that. Before that. When is the time that Jacob is saying, okay, I need to go back? Please read verse number 25.
25. It came to pass when Rachel had borne Joseph that Jacob said to Laban, send me away, and I will go to my place and to my land.
When exactly Jacob is saying, okay, this is the time that I can go back? When Joseph was born. So Joseph is the person that is managing to stand in front of Esau in a full way, in a full capacity, in a full strength, I will call it like that. I will show you a place that it happened, okay? Let's jump for a moment, another 2 chapters. Chapter 33, the reunion that there is between Jacob and Esau. Okay, and when Jacob lifted his eyes and he saw that Esau have 400 people with him and everything else, so he is splitting his children and everybody else, right? And read verse number 2.
2. And he placed the maidservants and their children first, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and her Joseph last.
And when Esau
and he went ahead of them and prostrated himself to the ground 7 times until he came close to his brother.
Fair enough. And then let's read for a moment verses 6 and 7. But careful, there is a difference between Joseph and the others.
6. And the maidservants and their children drew near and prostrated themselves. And Leah and her children drew near and prostrated themselves. And after them, Joseph and Rachel drew near and prostrated themselves.
If we will look carefully, we will see. But always, who is the first one who is approaching Esav in 6 and 7 at the beginning,
The maidservants.
and also Leah.
Yeah.
It's only with Rachel and Joseph that he is standing in front of his mother, before his mother, right? He's protecting her.
Yeah, it reads Joseph and Rachel, not Rachel and Joseph.
Exactly. Why? Because someone maybe wants to take Rachel, right? She's his wife. She was supposed to be his wife. Let's see Rashi for a moment. Okay. Please read this one, Joseph and Rachel.
Joseph and Rachel drew near. In all cases, the mothers drew near before the sons, but in Rachel's case, Joseph preceded her. He said, "My mother has a pretty figure. Perhaps that scoundrel will set his eyes on her, and I will stand in front of her and prevent him from gazing upon her." Because of this deed, Joseph merited the blessing below in 49:22 over the eye, meaning that he stood up in front of Esau's eyes.
We have here someone who is managing to stand in front of Esav. Why does he have the strength to stand in front of Esav? Because he is replacing the mission of Esav. Now let's go back and say, if you remember that we said that Joseph is hiding when Joseph, wants to go with his brothers, with the story of his brothers. Remember that? Joseph is hiding the buckle of the wine. He's not hiding the wine itself. Remember that? Let's see if it's here. No, not the. Just a moment. Please read verse number 1 and 2.
1. Then he commanded the overseer of his house, saying, "Fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put each man's money into the mouth of the sack. And my goblet, the silver goblet, put into the mouth of the sack of the youngest, and his purchase money." And he did according to Joseph's word, which he had spoken.
Is there any worth for the silver goblet if you're not putting anything inside? The silver goblet is only the structure. It's only the buildings around. It's only to build up the structure so you can put inside. What do you need to put inside? Usually you're putting inside wine, right? So Joseph is taking the mission of Esav, the structure, while Judah, let's see for a moment in the last chapter, almost the last chapter of when Jacob is trying to describe all of them, all of the kids. So he's saying about Judah, you see Judah.
Verse 8, Judah, yes, as for you, your brothers will acknowledge you. Your hand will be at the nape of your enemies, and your father's sons will prostrate themselves to you.
And he's continuing with something very important. Please see the last two verses that he's describing Judah. 11 and 12.
He binds his foal to a vine, and to a tendril he binds his young donkey. He launders his garment with wine, and with the blood of grapes binds his raiment.
Grapes.
He is red-eyed from wine and white-toothed from milk.
So you see that who is putting inside some sort of, we'll call it the spiritual side in this glass of Joseph? Judah. We see the two missions inside here. And then we said, why we're speaking about wine? Because wine is the only thing in this world that the juice of the grapes is much in a higher level. It's hiding inside much more deep, profound meaning than the grapes themselves. The wine is a much higher thing. And we have also say in the values of the words, the word wine, yain, that basically came from the Hebrew words, okay? Yain, wine, and the word secret, sod, are on the same value. When you drink wine, you're starting to spit out what's inside you. It's true. When you go speak with drunk people, you will see that they don't have any limits to the words, and they're saying everything that they have inside. So the spiritual side, the inside of you, is going out through the wine. So Joseph is only the structure that is putting what we need to put inside the wine. We have Joseph and Judah, two messiahs that will bring us. But it's the mission of Esau that Joseph took, and the mission of Jacob that Judah inherited. And both of them together today in the Hebrew nation. What was supposed to be the both brothers became one unit, only by Jacob, Israel. Two words, two different missions. Jacob, Israel. We started to realize what is happening here in a bit more profound way. I hope that it was clear. I don't know. If not, you can always listen again to the things that we said. Yes, questions, things that you want to say, to ask, to add, to whatever it is. Jacob, we're going to see you next week.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm excited.
I'm also. We're also excited. You're all invited, but it's not so far from England. Fair enough. We need to do also in England something. We will do. Alexandra, good to see you. Alexandra, from where?
Collins, the UK.
We can't hear you, Alexandra. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself. No. We can't hear you. Oh, come on.
No, hi, nice meeting you, first of all. Okay, Alexandra, it's my just document names. And my name, everybody calls me Shira.
Shira, very nice. Good to see you, Shira. From where are you in the world?
Okay, originally I'm from former Soviet Union, Moldova. And I arrived to Israel in 1977. I had lived in Israel for 10 years. And in 1987, I just came to Canada. I'm living in Canada right now.
Done.
I'm in Ontario. The city called Barrie. It's not far away from Toronto. Oh, really? Where are you from? Oh, yeah. Very pretty town. Okay. Nice meeting you.
Angelica also. Angelica, raise up your hand.
I lived in London, Ontario. It's not far from Barrie.
Okay. No, it's kind of 3 hours drive.
Yeah, but I'm in BC now too.
Oh, okay. Everybody's moving. I'm planning to move to New Brunswick. Anyway.
I'm also from British Columbia.
Hey.
Yeah.
Kelly also
Nice.
is.
It's a lot. I see a lot of Noahides in British Columbia because I'm kind of looking for somebody in Ontario, in Toronto,
But
okay, I need to have your email first in order to email. No problem. Thank you.
catch it before they say it's closing. Here it is.
It's okay. I'll find it. Don't worry.
Yeah, Ariel and Nathan also. Thank you, Ariel. Ariel and Nathan also not far from you, I think.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any questions, anything that you want to ask, you want to know on the lesson, something else, whatever it is, feel comfortable.
I would like to ask about the last chapter in Bereshit, the Vayehi, blessings, okay? Jacob is blessing all his kids, which is understandable and which is, like a tradition for a Jewish nation to bless kids. And I just would like to know how non-Jewish can bless their kids. Is it good?
I must say that they can do it the same way. Why not?
Oh, in the name of Avram, like if it's for a boy.
You don't need. You don't. You can bless with the name of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That God blessed them. You don't need to bless only through them. Mainly to say to the blessing through the God of Israel, who is blessed the world through Israel. Yes, you can say something like that, and through this to speak. Yes, of course.
I understand.
Especially if you're a Noahide. As a Noahide, of course, you can do that.
Yeah.
Because also the Noahide, it's written down that they are partnership with the Hebrew nation and a partnership with God. It's written down in Isaiah, chapter 66.
Okay.
Okay, so
more than half of my life I was considered as a Jewish, but then I found out that I'm not Jewish.
I think that the First and Second World War did a lot of mixed up for a lot of people, for a lot of things,
but
also
anyway,
for the Jewish communities.
But anyway, Judaism, it's a first religion that I ever approached in my life, and this is how I stuck to it. I just had to find for myself a status who I am. Okay, so I'm calling myself Noahide today.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. Yeah, it's a part of a growing community from all over the world.
Yeah.
This morning, okay, when I woke up 6 o'clock in the morning, there was a very big conference in the Indian side, Indian community. We had there in the Zoom room. We had something like there was something like 60 communities. We had there, so
together,
we had a very big together in the inside the Zoom room, and we spoke and everything else. Yes, but we have also in other places, also in Russia, by the way. Yes. Yes, Baruch Hashem. And next week we're going to be in Europe, and we're going also to broadcast this outside.
Okay. Thank you very much. It was nice meeting you, nice meeting all the other people, and I hope, I'll find, people to chat, people to learn with.
Yes, of course. Fair enough. Yes, Bart.
I was wondering if the sons always inherit the mission of their fathers. We know that Joseph had two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. So I was thinking, I asked this as a question. Do the sons inherit the mission of their fathers or change?
It's a great question, and we need to learn this, and we need to understand exactly what's happening later on. I will say it like that, but I'm not going to go deep inside to this. Of course, there is a relationship between the parents and their kids. For example, Joseph, I will call it like that. Joseph, he is on the border between the Hebrew nation and the rest of the world. We can see this already by him being a king of Egypt, okay? And it's a good question. Well, let's say, for example, that he would never saw again his brothers. So his kids were assimilated in the Egyptians' nation, right? But he saw his brothers, and this is a surprise that we have, what we read yesterday in the show, that Jacob is saying, no, they're going to become back to the Hebrew nation. But if you will look in the history, and you will learn a bit in the Joshua book, in the second book after that, in the Samuel book and everything else, you will see that Joseph have two kids, and one of them is all the time on the border, almost outside from Israel. Not only physically, also physically, but not only physically, but also in the mindset. They are one step ahead outside, because they are Joseph is the one that is, I will call it the connection, the liaison between us and the rest of the world. So this is why his kids are also almost there. I'm not going to show this now, and it's something that we need to learn and we need to see, but all of the kids around, it's continuing with each one of those 12 tribes have some sort of a characterism that his kids are continuing on.
Thank you.
We will touch this a bit when we will learn the one chapter before the end of Genesis, where Jacob is
Yes.
blessing his kids, and he's giving basically mission to each kid. Okay, we will see a bit how it's going on, continuing along history.
Excellent. So, Rabbi, are you okay for next week?
Next week, I'm going to be in Prague. Italo, good to see you. Long time no see. Next week we're in Prague.
Okay, so no Genesis class next week.
There won't be a Genesis class. I will send you the links. So, if you want to spread them out. I will send
It'll
you the
be in
links.
Czechoslovakian, though, right?
Yes. With the Maharal, there's how do you call it? The golem. A golem, the Maharal.
The maker of the golem.
Exactly. So we're going to be there, and I will do my best to send you also some photos. Now that we're going to broadcast everything.
May
It's
you
a nice
be blessed
place.
there. We hope that you're blessed there, and others are blessed, and we wish them well and hope that they have great success.
Amen. I'm not going alone. We're going to be there also. Rabbi Shirky is going to come with us, and he's
great.
going to lead us, and also the one Rabbi Abraham Khalifa, who is the head of the French department. We have French communities in French in Canada, you know that,
Montreal
and also
area, yeah.
in Africa.
Wow.
So he's also.
Beautiful.
So we're going to be the three of us. We have also a very important rabbi that is living in Germany, but he's in all Eastern Europe, and he will be with us also.
Excellent.
So we will do our best for everybody.
Oh, I'm sure it'll go well, and just know we'll be praying for safe travels, and we hope you have a great time, and we look forward to seeing you. So tentatively, we're looking at a couple weeks from today, maybe?
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks, all right.
Okay.
Thank
Sounds
you very
great.
much.
By the way, 2 weeks from now, Italo, are you going to be there in the conference of the Spanish with South America? It's very far from you, I think.
Yeah, I think it's in Argentina. Another country.
Yes, it is very far. I know that we have another big conference in South America, but I won't be there. I don't know Spanish. Not for me.
I'll translate for you.
Fair
Excellent.
enough.
Well, it's so good to hear that you're reaching out around the world. Glad to hear that many Noahide groups in India. Definitely a big population there in India. And it's just always a joy to get together with people from all around the planet. And it's just real exciting. And let's just see if I can give a quick gallery show here. I mean, we've got Angela and Mike in the UK. We've got Bart. Where are you again?
Lloyd also from the UK.
Yeah, Lloyd's also in the UK. Bart, where are you again?
I am from Belgium, Kent.
From Belgium. Bart's in Belgium. Collins, you're in the UK as well, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. Jacob, where are you?
I'm in Paris, France. I'm from
Right
the
on,
US.
right on. We got our friend Lara, who is down in Tampa, Florida. Wendell, where are you? You're in Texas?
No, I'm in upstate New York.
Upstate New York. Ah, beautiful. Chris, where are you?
I'm in Middle Tennessee.
Right on, right on. Lots of Noahides down in Tennessee. And we met Alexandra earlier and Kelly earlier and Angelica, friends in British Columbia, here near me. And it's just such a joy to see community start to grow. And hopefully we can work on some new things this year and try to grow more in this region. We'll encourage you all, wherever you're at, don't be shy, be open and willing to share, and let Hashem guide your path, and it's always a joy. But it's classes like this that really bring things together, and gives us a common footing to actually have discussion around, and hopefully you pick up something new every time the rabbi teaches. It's just a joy to hear. I go back about a month ago. There was a few weeks there where my mind was just going pow, pow, pow. Lots of light up, fresh stuff. It's always nice, even though you pick it up and read it quite often. It's just when you hear it the way it was intended. Sometimes there's new stuff and it's just fresh and it's great. So it's exciting. So catch the Torah wave, everybody. So I'm going to sign out for this week.
Have a great week, everybody. Yes, see you all.
Thank you, Rabbi. All right, we'll be back with this class in 2 weeks, folks. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.